أرحب بالسيد جينيت سوروش والي مندوب اليونسكو لدى السودان في هذه الكلمة.
I will address it in English. It's fine. Assalamu alaikum. Sabah al-khair. Your Excellency, the Minister of Culture, Information and Tourism, Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear friends, dear Under Secretary for Culture, on behalf of UNESCO, I warmly congratulate the Ministry of Culture, Information and Tourism and the Sudanese General Security and Intelligence and all national authorities for this outstanding achievement, the recovery of more than 568 objects looted from the Sudan National Museum. This success demonstrates Sudan's commitment to protecting its cultural heritage during times of crisis and conflict. Sudan's heritage is not only of national importance, it's a treasure of humanity, reflecting millennia of human history, knowledge, and creativity. The recovery of these objects sends a strong message that Sudan's cultural heritage will be preserved, safeguarded, and protected from illicit trafficking, contributing to the understanding and appreciation of human history worldwide. This achievement reinforces the partnership between UNESCO and the Ministry of Culture, Information and Tourism and other stakeholders, providing a solid foundation to continue strengthening national and international mechanisms to safeguard Sudan's cultural heritage and combat illicit trafficking, ensuring that this invaluable heritage continues to inspire generations globally. I warmly congratulate Sudanese authorities for the ratification of key UNESCO cultural conventions, specifically the 1970 Convention on the means of prohibiting and preventing the illicit import, export, and transfer of ownership of cultural property, and the 2001 Convention on the protection of underwater cultural heritage, and the 1995 UNIDROIT Convention on stolen or illegally exported cultural objects, which constitutes a fundamental pillar of the protection of Sudan's rich and diverse heritage. These instruments provide Sudan with a strong legal and institutional framework to prevent illicit trafficking, facilitate the recovery and restitution of stolen objects, and strengthen international cooperation, particularly in time of crisis and conflict. Before the war, with support from Italy, UNESCO was implementing a major project to rehabilitate the Sudan National Museum, with a planned reopening in December 2023. Although the war suspended activities, however, immediately after Khartoum was retaken, UNESCO managed to assess the damage to the museum, clear the museum from war debris and rubbles and unexploded devices, clean the museum, and rehabilitated 3 major rooms inside the museum for staff, inventory, recovery, and restoration works, and provided invaluable equipment such as laptops, printers, computers, and hard disk cameras to dedicated staff of the museum, which I salute here, to continue their important inventory work of the collection and the identification of looted objects. UNESCO remains committed to continue its support in the rehabilitation of the National Museum. UNESCO also launched successfully and implemented the project urgent safeguarding measures for Sudanese cultural heritage that focused on risk and damage assessment of 11 heritage sites, including World Heritage properties, inventory of 5 museums, and safeguarding of over 1,700 objects. Protection measures and emergency evacuation were implemented at key museums and in close collaboration and cooperation with the Ministry of Culture. Since the onset of the war, UNESCO has worked closely with the Ministry of Culture and Information and Income to train 434 cultural heritage professionals, law enforcement officials, judiciary members, and income staff, both in Port Sudan and in exile, on emergency responses, heritage protection, and combating illicit trafficking of cultural property. To raise global awareness, UNESCO also issued 4 public appeals and alerts in 2024, calling for international solidarity to prevent looting and illicit trafficking of cultural properties amid escalating security risk, and through tools such as the Virtual Museum of Stolen Cultural Objects, which currently features actually 5 Sudanese objects that have been reported to Interpol database. This highlights the importance of shared responsibility to combat illicit trafficking. To conclude, I would say that safeguarding Sudanese heritage requires both immediate action and long-term commitment. Today's achievement reflects Sudan's adherence to international standards, particularly the 1970 Convention, which Sudan has recently ratified. And I'm very grateful for this, and I'm looking forward for the official submission of the ratification instruments to UNESCO. By recovering these objects, Sudan sends a strong message to the national and international community that its culture heritage will not be lost and will remain an important part of its identity. Once again, I congratulate the Sudanese authorities on the recovery of these unique and invaluable objects, which demonstrates the importance of national leadership, interinstitutional coordination, and law enforcement action. UNESCO remains fully committed to support Sudan's strengthening institutional capacity, empowering local professionals, and protecting these priceless heritage for current and future generations. Shukran jazilan, and thank you very much.